I think now it's also changed because, sure, they stuck you in a locker and that was mean. Today, they take it to a new level. I mean, they create a website about you where they trash you online, and then they get photos, and all of a sudden it's viral. And whereas it might have been you and 6 of your girlfriends that knew you got stuck in a locker, now, I mean, you could go viral on YouTube, and half the planet, before you know it, could be aware of your humiliation. And so I think that male or female, it's just a greater expansion of all of that. Everything is exacerbated. When I look at my granddaughter, and she's 3, and she's going to grow up in a world that there was always an internet. There was always, I mean, just what will it be like in school for her? And I think that
I think the message has got to be to girls who are being picked on, bullied, humiliated, embarrassed, to understand that the people who bully, who pick on, it is about them. It is about their weakness. It is about their insecurity. So what we need to do is turn that lens around and go, why are you not secure enough in yourself that the only way you find power is by putting somebody else down? If that's where you find your power, that makes you extraordinarily weak. So the minute you put somebody down, it says the only way I find power is by stepping on somebody. That's not power. That's not influence. It is when you lift somebody up, when you take somebody with you, that is power. That is influence. And we've got to get our girls to understand that. The minute we see girls misbehaving in that way, we've got to say, there's something wrong here. And it's not with the person that you're picking on or bullying, it is with you. And you have to set the example.
So you've got Success in the City, which is certainly an organization to help women in business in an irreverent, sort of new and different way. You have Pink Collar Network, which is a platform for you to voice these opinions and to share, and influence people. And then you've also got a nonprofit.
We do
as well.
We do. We have the Success in the City Bobby de Lorenzi Foundation, and our foundation is named after my brother. And one of our challenges is figuring out, because it's really tough whenever you're calling, everything you want to do is to be different, is what should our foundation be doing? And I would love to have some women join me in figuring out where we should hang our hat here, because I don't want to do, one thing at Success in the City, if somebody's doing something well, why would we go up against it? It's not because I don't love competition. If somebody's doing it well, why would we dilute that?
She's very competitive. Very competitive. Don't let her tell you anything otherwise.
But in a good way. But in a good way. But no, but I support everybody. I do.
That's true. Well, I think you may have found your platform just in the conversation that you've had today, in that if Success in the City is about irreverence and being just a little bit different and being successful at that, and the Pink Collar Network is, spreading that message. Perhaps the nonprofit then is helping these young women who are going through bullying and stuff, and having a platform to say it's okay to be a little different, because it's, I would say, served you very well.
Kelly, I'm kind of surprised you said that to me. You know me well enough that when you come up with an idea to me.
I know.
Kelly was our first chairman of our board, only because she pulled me aside when we started Success in the City, which was never started with this brilliant business plan that it was going to be anything. It just grew really grassroots. And Kelly goes,
and all of a sudden she starts having events, she has meetings and people, and I walked in there, I'm like, you need structure. I said, we have no structure here. You need an organization, you need a board. I said, tell you what, we'll have this little meeting and we'll put together the board, and I'll help you through the minutes. And so he said, okay, now you're the CEO of the organization, so you need a treasurer, you need an events, you need a sponsor person, you need somebody for legal person, and everybody's like, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this, and then I said,
one job.
I said, and now you need a chairman of the board, and I turned around and there's like 12 sets of eyes just staring at me down the table, and it was I was very pleased. I agreed to do it as long as I had a president or chairman-elect already in place. So, and it's worked out really well.
It's really worked out well.
So, the question I have for you is with this, with all of the stuff that you do, you get to meet a lot of people, some very interesting people, and it's very successful. So, who are some of the most interesting people that you've met in the course of having these organizations?
Every single person I meet is fascinating. There is nobody I've met that isn't absolutely fascinating to me. because when I ask the questions, I think nobody else could ever ask. But it's because I ask questions in a way that nobody would ever believe that there is any ill intent on my part, ever. I am truly, sincerely fascinated by people, and I love discovering their strengths and their passions and their interest, and then I like to give them a job related to that. So everybody knows the Success in the City, and they'll say somebody come up with a great idea. I go, that is a brilliant idea. You are in charge of it. And you guys all stand back and crack up. They go, I could have told you not to do that, you know, but it's really true. Yeah. So if you have a great idea, please share it with me, and you're going to be in charge of making that happen.
So how would you define success? If you look at what you're doing now, what you've accomplished, how would you define success?
You know, success always changes for me. But number one, for me, success is being happy and having control of my life and choosing my destiny and not feeling that I think one of the greatest successes for me is realizing that my life is not lived at the behest of others, but it is lived at the behest of myself and the terms that I want to have in my life. And I choose every single day. I probably have more reasons than most to get up and wake up and be unhappy. I could certainly frame my life in that place that it's been unfair, I've lost my brother, I've lost my mother, I have all these responsibilities. Or I can choose to be happy. And I choose every single day to smile. Even when I don't want to smile, if you smile, you actually change your brain thinking. So even if you're really upset or something, go smile. I mean, like, you know, but really, it's
clench your teeth.
You clench your teeth, but do it. It really changes. And the other thing, I want to live my life in passion. I want to live my life at that level of energy that is like, oh my gosh, and it may be wrong, and I make mistakes and I fail sometimes, but I always embrace those. But as long as I'm doing something passionate, and I love ideas. I love, my husband will hear me on the phone, and I will call you or Jen or Jenny, and I'll go, I've got an idea, and my husband will always go, whoever you are, hang up now, you know, every single time. And people start cracking up, or they hear the message. They go, I could hear your husband in the background, hang up now. So I'm
going to turn the discussion over and let the audience interview you and ask you a few questions. But before I do that, is there if there's one thing that the people here today walk away with, one message or, you know, key takeaway from this conversation, what would that be?
That together we can change the world. This is probably one of the most powerful, influential things we can do. We can shape the dialogue. You have no idea how much power and influence you ever have. And the first thing you have to do is believe it, and that together we will shift this world. We are in the middle of a revolution, and we're going to make that happen. And that's why it's important that we tape and film these kind of conversations, because when we plant that seed, all it is one thought, one shift of your thinking, and the world's a new place. And we're going to make this an incredible place for everybody on earth. And we can do that.